So Nomad Cosmetics has finally come out with an Ireland palette, but how are the colors? Are they pigmented? Are they dusty? Is there a lot of fallout? We're gonna get into it with 2 looks and a lot more with this palette. Hey y'all, it's Linda. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are playing with the Nomad Ireland palette. I never know, by the way, whether I should just call this the Ireland palette or the Ireland Wild Atlantic Way palette. Either way, this is based on Ireland and it's so lovely. The color story immediately kind of had my heart. When they started teasing this, I was like, that's looking like Ireland, and I got really excited because I am a big fan of green eyeshadows. So today I want to show you the palette. We're gonna take a look at some swatches and then we are doing 2 looks with this palette. So this palette is launching on Tuesday, March 12th around 12:01 Eastern Standard Time. They have not yet said the price, but I'm basing this off of the Ghost Town palette, which also had the same number of shadows. That was $49, so I think this one will also be $49, but you can use my code GLITTERFALLOUT to save yourself some money. That is an affiliate code, so if you decide to use it, thank you so very much. As always with Nomad palettes, they always donate a portion of the proceeds to a different cause every single time. So this time they say, we are proud to support Irish Wildlife Trust that works to raise awareness of Ireland's rich natural heritage and protect it for future generations. So I love that they always include that. They always include this postcard telling you more about it. So I think that's fantastic, but let's take a look at this palette. The outside packaging is really beautiful, and this is a time when I kind of appreciate that the packaging is very different than what's inside, like what the actual outside of the palette looks like, because I am somebody who saves packaging like a weirdo. Vote down below, are you somebody who saves packaging or not? Because I get comments on this every single time, but I do love that you can see these beautiful cliffs here, and it's just this beautiful nature scene. I'm gonna keep saying the word beautiful. Now let's talk about the outside of the actual palette. You guys, it's kind of a crushed velvet. I've talked about this before. I get weird, like almost nauseated at the feel of crushed velvet. So this one is nowhere near as bad as like the original Urban Decay Naked palette. That is the one that really makes me want to puke. This one is not as bad, but it does still have that kind of like flocked crushed velvet feel, just giving you a heads up in case you have any weirdness with that as well. But this color story is not what I expected, and I am so happy about that. I was convinced this was going to be a 100% monochromatic green palette, maybe with like 1 gold thrown in. No, I feel like they did a beautiful job. So we do have some warm tones in here, which was unexpected to me because when I think of Ireland, I think of lush green. I think of, you know, rain. I'm sorry, but I do. I think of like very wet, cool, beautiful tones. So these warm pops of color were a very welcome addition to me. And I think that they do a good range of like light shades to medium shades. Now, the deepest shade is this one right here, which is Tancha. By the way, I looked up how to pronounce a lot of these words, so I am trying. Be gentle with me. But I do wish there was like a slightly deeper shade, maybe like a blackened green. But other than that, I am so happy. And these swatched beautifully. The metallics are all very metallic, very shimmery, and all of the mattes, every single one of them is opaque and creamy and easy to build up. Like you can make these sheer, or you can build them up, which I really, really appreciate in a matte, because especially with mattes, they can be a little more difficult to work with sometimes in that they're either super pigmented off the bat or they're just like patchy. This you can build up nicely. So now that we are through all of that, we are going to do 2 looks with this palette. This is the first look. I'm going to show you how I got this, and I'm going to give you my thoughts because I definitely had some thoughts as to how the shadows performed when I did this look, but let's jump right into it. Hi, wait, before we get into the first look with this palette, guys, I'm doing a giveaway. So Nomad messaged me and said that they were accidentally sending me 2 palettes and that I could give one away to you guys. So I haven't even opened this second package from Nomad. I'm not going to open it. I'm just gonna put a different label on it. But here's how you enter, okay? You have to be following me or subscribe to me here on YouTube, and then send an email to glitterfalloutgiveaway@gmail.com, okay? The email address is going to be in the description box down below, but I don't want to include the word giveaway because then like some weird crazies come out and they're not people who actually are subscribed and supporting my channel, and I want to give it to people who have been so supportive to me. So send an email to glitterfalloutgiveaway@gmail, and just in the subject line write the word Nomad, and then in the description just write I want to enter to win. You don't have to write anything else. I am going to be choosing randomly. So you don't need to tell like a huge story of why you want to win, because I'm literally just going to be scrolling through and picking randomly. So the directions are going to be in the description box down below of where to email and what to write, but I'm not including the word giveaway. So if you made it this far, congratulations. You're going to be entered in the giveaway. Now let's go to that first look. All right, good morning. I don't know what time it is for you. For me, it is quite early morning. So for my very first look, I think I want to do a halo eye because I am really liking a lot of these like deeper matte greens and things like that. So I think I'm going to do like, you know, the greens with this shimmer in the center. And then I want to do a bright, sparkly inner corner. So I think that's going to be one of these two shades. I'm not quite sure, but we are going to get into it. Now, it is worth mentioning that I spent all morning looking up how to pronounce a lot of these words. So I really am going to try, be gentle with me if my Gaelic is not incredibly strong, but I am trying, I promise. But let's get into it. Of course, I picked the shadow with the hardest for me to pronounce name, as one does. I want to start with Connemara. Connemara is, it's like a brown yellowy color, but it's a very neutral color. Tapping off all the excess, there's a lot coming off here. And oh gosh, I'm gonna have to part the bangs down the middle because they are long again. By the way, I already do have my eyes primed with my Sigma eye primer and kind of pat it out. So this I want to have very light, just kind of all in the outer corner and in the crease. This is just sort of like to set the tone. I really like this color. It's sort of like a cool alternative to a neutral. I mean, it is still very neutral, don't get me wrong, but it's got that like yellow tone, and I feel like there's a vague hint of green in there. It's hard to explain. It's like vaguely chartreuse, like maybe it walked next to chartreuse at one point, like they passed each other in the mall and they were going on escalators in the opposite direction and one person had their hand there and the other one grabbed it and they did the wistful thing. You know what I'm talking about. I'm also bringing that just a little bit under the eyes. I like that color much more than expected. I thought that was just going to be like not a throwaway, but not a big deal, but I actually really like it. Okay. All right, we're going to go in a little bit deeper with Wild Atlantic Way. This color, oh my God, this is like the perfect kind of swampy olivey green. This color, I'm just going to put in the crease, but a little bit more towards the actual crease rather than blending up towards the eyebrow. Ooh. Ooh, I like this color. This is such a perfect transition. I'm going to take this out to the side as well. Okay, I do have quite a bit of fallout from that one, and there's a lot of kick up in the pan, so definitely tap your brush off a lot with this one. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell, there's a lot of fallout. And I've said this before, by the way, but fallout is not something that bothers me because it usually just means an eyeshadow is pretty pigmented, and I prefer a pigmented shadow. If that does bother you, though, I always want to let you know about it. Also, I'm not worried about getting shadow on the lid right now, like I am a little bit, so. Okay, but yeah, a little bit goes a very long way with this shadow. Let me see if I can just kind of wipe that away. I should have put powder under my eyes. Actually, it did just kind of wipe away. That's nice. That's nice. You can see the brush has a tinge of green on it now, but oh gosh, that's so pretty. I wasn't expecting to like it that much. All right. Now we are dipping into Blarney Stone. This one also looks like it's kicking up a lot. So, and there's a lot coming off the brush. So I'm going to start small and just build this up. But I want this to go, pack it on to the inner and outer corners. Right now, it's not looking much deeper than that other shade we just applied, but maybe once it's packed on. Oh, okay, yeah, you can see the deepness now. The deepness. So again, I am trying to leave this space in the middle, but I'm not too bummed that it covered it up there because we're going to work with that. But like, it's very interesting. This color is super pretty, but like I expected to see a way bigger difference between these two. And I don't know that I see as much. So I'm going to go back in with Wild Atlantic Way, which is that lighter kind of olivey green. And also back in with Connemara on that blending brush, just to make sure those edges are seamless. So I definitely want that to be deeper on the outer edge. So I'm going in with Tancha on a packing brush. Same brush, actually. I'm just, you know, tapping off all the extra. I will say all of these mattes when you touch your brush in, for me, there's a lot of kick up in the pan. There's a whole lot and then a lot to tap off. So just make sure you're kind of being patient with it. But I mean, the color payoff is worth it. I'm getting definitely deeper. Is this the deepest shade in here? I guess it's kind of the deepest shade in here. But I wish there was like one deeper, like a super dark, almost blackened green. But this is really still very pretty. There we go. Right on the very inner corner as well. There we go. We're looking sufficiently insane. I love it. Now, again, as far as fallout, there definitely is still some. I just tapped, and I've been tapping off my brush like crazy. So as far as I can tell so far with this palette, this might be one that I recommend you do your face makeup last. I did my face makeup first because that's what I do for videos. But it is looking pretty. So I'm going to take some of my NYX glitter glue on a flat brush, and I'm going to just pat that all over the center. And then I'm going to pick up this shadow with this name. Okay, Shia Witch, not Shia Witch, Gia Witch. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It means hello in Gaelic. There's a lot of words, but like, look at that metallic, and it is sticking to the brush. So let's see how that does. My heart. Gia Witch. I'm going to go back and forth and kind of touch up, oh, wrong brush, touch up those deepest colors because I don't want to lose that darkness here and on the outer corner. So I might be officially packing on too much and losing a little bit of this here on the outer edge, but it's fine once I build it back in, but it's taking, you know, a little bit of blending. So I want to take a second and clean up under my eyes, and I'll be right back. All right, so now that it's cleaned up, I'm actually going back in again with Connemara and all the other colors just to kind of build up under the eyes the same way that we built up below the eyes. Build up under the eyes the same way we built up above the eyes on the eye. Why can't I speak today? All right, I'm going to take a skinnier brush. This is the Sigma Precision Firm Blender E42. I'm taking a tiny, tiny bit of, like, I'm actually going to use that amount for both eyes, of my glitter glue. I'm putting it in the inner corner. I hope this doesn't ruin it, but I really want to try. Okay, the way I pronounce this word is Sloan, and it means goodbye. So I hope that's right. It's a very, very pretty, like, gold, yellow, green kind of color. Oh my God. That was a correct choice. I never do an inner corner because I feel like it doesn't look the same way on me as it does on like a lot of people, but I actually kind of like that it's a little bit messy right now. That's rad. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hop off screen and do my liner, my mascara, any other accessories or liners, you know, liquid liners that I want to do, and I'll be right back. All right, here is the first look with the Nomad Ireland palette. I did wind up using 7 eyeshadows total. One just fell out. Ooh, I'm gonna have to glue that back in. Slancha just fell out. But I did wind up using 7 eyeshadows total. And here are my thoughts so far. Oh, also, like, I added some, so this is very out of my comfort zone. I added some of the kind of like neon green Urban Decay liner. This color is Freak, and I added a bunch of little rhinestones, and I just love it. In my waterline, I am wearing, oh my gosh, these are so small. These stickers, Tourmaline by Kaleidos, which is just kind of like a pinky green shift. And on my lips, I am wearing the Lottie London Oil Slick Nourishing Lip Oil in Marshmallow. But here are my thoughts so far about this. I will say that the mattes are fantastic, but they are so pigmented that there is a lot of fallout both in the pan and on your face. So again, I suggest doing your eye makeup first and then following up if you're going to do a bold look. If you're going to do like a neutral look, which you absolutely can do with this palette, you will be absolutely fine doing it whenever. But I would suggest doing your face makeup last because I did have to clean it up. I kind of don't care about that because I kind of expect that when I'm doing bold looks. So that's fine with me, but I did want to let you know everything else is beautiful. These shimmers and these sparkles like really stand out. This color Sloan, again, I was looking at my pronunciation, is much more like chartreuse green gold than I thought it would be. It's just, I love this look. I think this is so super pretty. I feel super confident in green eyeshadows though normally. But yeah, this is the first look and we will be right back with the second look. Hello again. We are back to do a second look with the Nomad Ireland palette. I really love the way the first look came out, but for this look, I want to do something that is not green focused because I feel like that's something really cool about this palette, and I feel like I want to do a more neutral look. Now, there aren't as many shades to work with if you're doing a completely neutral look, but we do have them here. So we have Bunratty Castle, we have Ring of Kerry, we have Connemara, we have Cliffs of Moher, we have Sloane, we have Savage Beauty. Like, there's a lot of these more neutral tones in here, so I'm really excited. And by the way, when I say neutral, I don't necessarily mean that it's going to be a no makeup look, because this definitely is going to look like you're wearing makeup, but I'm just excited. I want to keep playing with this. So I hope this isn't a bad idea because this color is definitely cool toned leaning, but I want to start with Danny Boy. And all I can hear is like Moira Rose in my head right now. Oh, Danny Boy. And again, now that I've learned, tapping away all the excess, okay? And this is going to go in the crease pretty high, almost up to the brow. This is definitely like a cool tone gray. I hope this isn't a bad choice. I do really like this color, but it is very cool toned as opposed to the look that I was planning on doing. But you know what? We're going to keep running with it. Why not mix warm tones and cool tones? It's just makeup. We can take it off if it looks bad, but it's not going to. It's going to look superb. Sublime! But here's where it could possibly go all wrong. Now I'm going to go into Bunratty Castle, which is a very warm tone brown. Now again, with these mattes, guys, tap off all the excess. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but like, any of that excess is going to go onto your face. So I'm going to start lightly and I'm going in the crease with this. This is a more like defined, but still kind of a flimsy brush so that it can really blend out. Yeah, I have my mirror here and it's hard to tell, but all at the base of it, it is now like covered in shadow that I've been tapping off. Why do I think that that doesn't look bad to have like the cool toned and warm tone mixed? I actually think that that's kind of a vibe. Why do I kind of love that? That's like very different for me because I'm usually cool toned or warm toned, but I like it. But I don't know if you can see how messy this is getting. It really is just like all over the place. So I'm actually going to go back into Bunratty Castle. Okay, tap off the extra, but I want to pack this a little bit more on this outer corner. Like, I want to see if I can make that a little deeper by packing it, but without getting fallout everywhere. So it's not deeper, but it is more intense than when it's blended out in the crease. So I think that does a nice job. This is a very pretty color. If you have blue eyes or green eyes or hazel eyes, I feel like this is a banging color. Trying to figure out which shimmer to do. So there's Savage Beauty, which is like a cool toned champagne silver, and I'm using this one. Cliffs of Moher is just so beautiful. I'm going to apply the glitter glue this time with my finger, just so I can make sure I'm just getting it on the lid and not in the crease. Also, like, I'm almost nervous about when I get my nails back on because I'm gonna miss doing my makeup with my fingers as often as I do. I'm taking a flat but fluffy brush and picking up Cliffs of Moher and like just kind of dabbing it in because I noticed that some of these are like, it's not, chunky is not the right word, but you just want to be more gentle because if you dig in too hard, they'll flake away. This now, like, there's no fallout whatsoever. And I'm going to pat this all over the lid. This is such a highly metallic, beautiful color. Like, this is a color I'm going to use all the time. If I'm being honest, I know this is a color I'm going to use like all the time because I love bronzy shimmers. This is super pretty. So my only gripe with this palette, like I said in my first one, is that I feel like there needs to be some very, very deep color, whether that's a deep green, a deep brown, something like that, where there's not enough of a very deep color in here. So I keep thinking like I want deeper on the outer edge here, but I don't necessarily want this like deep blue green color. I'm trying to figure out what to do. I mean, I hope it doesn't mess it up. Maybe we'll try a little bit of Blarney Stone. It's, again, it's not the deepest green, but like, I don't want to use, no, I don't want to use green in this. What do I do? What if I really pack on Dunratty Castle? Like, really pack it on. So I'm taking one more brush and just a little bit of NYX glitter glue, just like I did with that last look. And I'm going to put that on the inner corner here, because I want to put just a little bit of this Savage Beauty. Oh my gosh, that picked up so beautifully. Is it tapping off? Yeah, a little bit's tapping off. I picked up too much. And this is going to go right here on the inner corner. Oh, that's pretty. This is a very silvery color, so it's definitely different than that really warm bronze, but it's so nice. Oh. Okay, so I mentioned that I wanted to keep this look definitely more neutral. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop off camera and I'm going to do my liner, my lipstick, my mascara, all of that, and I'll be right back and we're going to wrap up my first impressions on this palette. And here is the second look with the Nomad Ireland palette. Guys, when it all came together, I actually really liked the way this came out. I was really hesitant at first because we do have some cool tones in there. We have some warm tones. I wish there was a darker color, but I love the way this came together. So in what will be a surprise to like no one, I did use my Melt Burnish Gel Liner as my eyeliner. For my highlighter, I used the Kaleidos Solar Sailor, which is like a very gold tinge. And then for my lipstick, I used the Fantasy Cosmetica Lost Library. This is Unearthed, which is like the most perfect orange color ever. So let's go over my first thoughts of this palette. If I can get this hair off my face. Where is it? First things first, I need to stop forgetting that Slancha needs to be glued back in when I hold it up like this. So I'm going to hold it gently. But here are my thoughts at first. I'm really enjoying playing with this. I loved the green look I did, and I love this look. And they are two very different looks that came from the same palette. Like, I feel like this is a very good color story, and the quality is amazing. The quality is absolutely amazing. Again, with the mattes, I suggest you tap your brush off a lot because otherwise you will get fallout. Now, today, I did my foundation first again, but I had zero fallout because I remembered to tap the brush away, like literally none. So as long as you tap the brush, you're gonna be just fine. My only gripe with this palette is, again, I wish it had that very deep color where I could deepen the outer edge, but that is, for me, not a deal breaker, because if you're watching this, my guess is you have at least one palette in your collection somewhere else, right? And that one palette probably has a deeper color in it. So it's not like, you know, I will not recommend this palette because it doesn't have a deeper color, but I just wish it did have that, if that makes sense. But I really like this. These shimmers, they came to play. They are stunning. They are metallic. I love all of them. Like, I even used this one today because I was worried I wouldn't like it. And now I think it's my favorite part. That inner corner, that like really bright champagne-y color. I freaking love it. So I want to know what you're thinking about this palette. But again, you can use my code GLITTERFALLOUT. That is an affiliate code if you want to save some money. And if you do, again, use that code. Thank you so much. That is such a kind way for you to support my channel, and it costs you nothing to do. But are you planning on picking this one up? Are you Irish? If you're Irish, okay, tell me where in Ireland I need to go. I have never been to Ireland. It is on my bucket list, like my ultimate bucket list. And here's the thing I should probably mention. Whenever I ask people, where do I need to go in Ireland? They're like, the Guinness factory, the Guinness factory. I don't really drink, guys. So tell me things that aren't to do with drinking, that they're not whiskey tastings, they're not beer tastings. Tell me the other things. Tell me where I can find a small little pub where there's going to be a band in there playing the fiddle. Please tell me where I can find fiddlers. But that's it. If you liked this video, I would love if you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget about the giveaway, and subscribe if you haven't already. You all can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Those are all Glitter Fallout, as always. And forever and ever and ever, you are super freaking rock stars. I love you so much with my whole heart, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.